The fly we are tying today is Reese's Sunken Hero. So the first thing we're going to do is take our fire hole hook number 316 and add to it a 1/8 black bead. The thread for this fly can either be black or brown. We're going to use brown 6/0 thread or 140 Diener. And we'll take it back just past the bend of the hook, or just past the point of the hook. And I'm using as a body on this hook today, light olive mop chenille. Now I have already taken the two ends and singed them to keep it from coming apart. Okay. We'll get this tied in right here. Get our tip up in there. I like to keep the chenille turned down just a little bit so when this hits the water, it's going straight for the bottom with that weight on it. And the look will be really good on there. So once I've got this tied in where I want it here, the next thing I'm going to do is add legs to it. And on the legs, I've created a leg just like here, so I've got leg pieces that's going to be doubled at the top half, and at the bottom half it's going to be a single piece. I've learned tying those and adding just a spot of glue right there at the knot that keeps it coming from undone, and then you cut that second piece off. So now I will tie the legs in, first off the one on the near side. To me. And the one on the far side. Now try to position these so they're turned in a little bit. Once I have them in, I can take off the excess leg pieces here. For the body, we're going to use ostrich herl, and I've got again a light olive color ostrich herl here, and I'm using 4 or 5 strands of that. Carefully as I wipe this, go around with this so that I don't cut it up on the point of the hook. I'm going to leave myself just a little bit of room so I can tie in 2 more legs right here in the front. right behind that bead. So once this is in, I'm going to add a small piece of and I'm going to tie this in right here behind the bead. This is thin skin that I'm using, a clear brown. I'm going to tie that in right there. I don't want a lot of this on top of here. Take this little tag end off. Now the next thing to go in is a pair of small legs on to cover the front. So I'm going to place them right here. And again, I'm going to crisscross this once here. Once here. And these are the pieces we cut off the back legs when we made them. So that's done in a figure 8 to hold it in place. Right there. Once I've got them in position, tied down tight, I'm going to pull the thin skin over and come right behind here, behind the bead, and tighten this up with thread to hold it in place right there. And that takes care of getting everything tied on. So now all we need to do is add a whip finish to it. And to hold it in place, we're going to add UV on the back of this. So we're going to cut this thing here fairly short, so it just goes right over the top of the body, the thorax, just a little bit here. Okay. It only goes back to as far as the mop fly is, and to that now I'm going to add just a little bit of UV glue just to hold it in place all the way down to the head. So we're going to hit that with a light for just a second to set it. This is using the newer glues, and it only takes 1 second to hold that right there. And we'll let that cure for just a second. And then after it does, we're going to come back at it and give it 10 more seconds of light to cure that. Okay. We're going to let it sit there and cook for another couple of seconds. And we'll come in the third time with light once more to finish drying it for another 10 or 15 seconds. and that will dry that piece right up. So now I want to cut these short. The front legs a little bit short. I don't want them to be no longer than to reach just to the back leg there. Like that. And then I'd like to add one more layer to the thin skin. And dry it. Again, this is Solar Raz. It takes 1 second on there with a light to cure it, get it started. We'll let that set for about 10 or 15 seconds. And while it's cooking, we'll come back then again and give 10 more seconds of light in here to the Solar Raz and let that dry off. And that takes care of that one. We'll give it about 30 seconds of cooking time, and then we'll come back in and give it another 30 seconds of light. And we do that, we give it 30 more seconds of light. And there we have Reese's Sunken Hero. As you can see, there should be a really good fly in there.